midway through the season. I got nothing much to talk about my team. Hurry is jubilant.
Let's go on the Plot Malaysia.
Hello, welcome to the Plot Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans. Mo Salah running down the wing.
Yeah, we
Salah,
are all
la, la, la,
Liverpool
la, la, la,
has
la.
a Salah. We are totally Salah at the moment.
Egyptian king. Mo Salah
I'm sure some
running down the wing.
I'm sure some of you saw Hurry running from the door to the to his seat, right? Because he was trying to prove that he can also run. Hurry, good run, good run. That was hilarious.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Anyway,
What do
Ram,
we have in
good to be
store?
back, man.
Yeah, absolutely good to be back. It's good to see you again, Harry, after some time. So let's get back to this beautiful channel of ours, the Plot Malaysia, and our fans are all there, viewing into us, and they want to know what's up. So let's go, Harry. What's in it for us today?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, man, guys, just want to give you guys. Obviously, I mean, we're coming back from the Christmas, the New Year break in December as well. I don't know what you are up to, Ram, but I don't know if you know. I mean, I think I told you I went to the UK, so I visited Liverpool. I went to catch two huge games. I went to watch Liverpool Man United at Anfield, and then Liverpool Arsenal at Anfield as well. And I mean, it was an unbelievable experience, man. I went there with KL Corpites, a group from KL Corpites as well. So it was fantastic, man. I caught the Liverpool Man United game. I had the stadium tour. I got to attend a meet and greet with Jamie Carragher. There was obviously a boat ride with Phil Thompson as well and Sammy Lee. So that was brilliant. And then the game itself, man, Liverpool completely dominated, obviously couldn't break through. And then again, the following week, I went to the Arsenal game, and the atmosphere in that game was on. That was one of the games of the season, man, in terms of quality from both teams. And Liverpool unlucky not to win that game, but what a game! The atmosphere in the ground, man. That stadium was shaking on that day. So it was brilliant, man. All in all, a brilliant atmosphere. I also visited Barcelona, and I caught a game in Barcelona as well. Barcelona versus Almeria as well in their Montjuic Stadium, because the new camp is under renovation. So yeah, it was an unbelievable trip, a real proper footballing trip. And yeah, man, so it was great to be back, full of vigor, full of fire, and excited to talk about the rest of the season ahead, man.
Harry, man, I really loved it. I saw the pictures as well. I'm pretty sure that you enjoyed yourself during that time. So I want to say something to all the fans over here. So I believe I've known Harry for a very long time. He's been like a childhood friend of mine, and I know that Harry has also been to Anfield before. This is not his first time to Anfield. This is second time, right, Harry? So just some news and some juice, because I'm a United fan. I would like to take my chance and also being fun of Harry. He has been to Anfield twice, and he's never managed to watch Liverpool score against Man United. So that's a real
Oh, actually,
compliment.
I have. So I haven't been able to see Liverpool beat United in the two games I've watched, because the first one we lost 2-1, the second one was 0-0. But the first one we lost 2-1, so I did see a goal. I saw
2-1. Wasn't a 1-0 game? It was 2-1. Okay.
No, it was 2-1. Steven Gerrard scored a goal, and I saw so basically two of my biggest idols. I watched Steven Gerrard score, and then this time I went in the Arsenal game and I saw Mo Salah score a wonder goal as well. It's a brilliant goal where he beats Zinchenko and puts it into the top corner. So yeah, man, brilliant trip. And I must say, man, Liverpool United game was a little bit disappointing because of it was like attack versus defense. It became really boring as well. I think if Liverpool would have scored, the game would have changed, and then United would have to come out, and then we probably would have won big. But that's how it went. But the Liverpool Arsenal game was a game, man. It was the best game I've ever watched live. It was so good, man. The quality, it was end to end. Liverpool had lots of chances. Obviously, hit the post a couple of times. Trent should have scored, but Mo Salah scored a cracker. Liverpool should have had a penalty as well, if you remember. Odegaard basically playing basketball there. So it was a super game. But the main thing about that game was the atmosphere in the stadium, Ram. I don't know what to say about it, but Jurgen Klopp, I think 3 days before the game, asked for a big atmosphere. he complained about the atmosphere at Anfield. So in the Arsenal game, the fans just went crazy, man. They turned up the volume. It was, I mean, I know. I actually was. I walked past after the game. I walked past where AFTV were shooting as well. Funny enough, AFTV guys, the Arsenal fan TV guys were shooting as well, and then I watched the videos later, and even some of the Arsenal fans said that it was the best atmosphere they had seen at Anfield in the last 15 to 20 years. That's how the atmosphere was. It was bouncing, man. So all through the game, so it was a joy, man, an absolute joy.
I'm glad you enjoyed a good time. I really wish I was also in that part of the world, watching a live Premier League game. But I will plan to go. I'll plan to go sometime this year. Hopefully, to catch a live game again, maybe at Old Trafford. Let's see. But kudos to you, man. I'm very sure you are excited to go there again. In the time to come, if you can.
Oh yeah. Hopefully, man. Hopefully in a year or so, I'll be back again because I love the place, man. It's beautiful. It's like a shrine for me, right? So it's beautiful, man. I did also make a trip down to Old Trafford just to puke in front of the stadium, and I think I showed you the pictures, Ram.
Why you had a massive hangover
yeah,
night before, so you're going to puke at Old Trafford? Come on, bro.
Yeah, that was a story of the trip. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining the show. Please, those are on the channel, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. We're going to we're going to be on the show very consistently moving forward in the new year. That's our resolution for the year, which is good. Ram is going to also do some United updates from time to time. I might do a show or two on my own from time to time during the week to talk about some quick Liverpool updates as well. And then we will have the joint shows as well. So that's what we will do. We will have a lot of content coming your way, a lot of discussion, and we want feedback and we want your comments as well. So keep them coming. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel.
Absolutely.
And keep contributing, man. Keep contributing to the channel. Let's start, Ram. We're doing a mid-season review today. Yep. It's going to be a short show, but we're going to talk about really the contenders. We've had half the season go by. What are your thoughts on the season so far? I mean, who are the main contenders, man? Who have a chance for this title, in your opinion?
I mean, I'm definitely going to say Liverpool definitely is in with a shout. I'm not going to deny that. You guys have 3 points clear.
We're top of the table, baby. Liverpool, top of the league.
Exactly.
Liverpool, top of the league.
Yep, you guys are top of the league, so definitely Liverpool has a chance. I think Arsenal are also in with a shout. Because I would never leave them out of that top 3 or top 2 because they do have a good chance of actually proving a point this season. I surprisingly feel Aston Villa could also be a contender this season. I really do, because I'm very impressed with Unai Emery's philosophy, in football and how he has managed the team. Yeah, so I'm very, very, good evening.
Yeah.
And of course, and Aston Villa has beaten a lot of teams, in the top leagues as well. So I think they do have a chance for that. And yes, of course, Man City, you can never write them off, even though if they're going through a difficult time right now. I don't think, it's fair to say that they're not contenders. So this 4 for me: Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa, and Man City.
Oh, nice. So you have added Aston Villa. You don't think they will drop off?
Well, it's in the real world, they probably would, because they might not be able to hold up to the pressure that the usual suspects would be able to. But I think it's very interesting, and I wanted to put them in there because I think it's midway of the season. They know where they are. They know that the kind of football they are playing. So I do want to give them a good chance to actually go all the way. So I'm putting them in that top 4 for me. Yep.
Interesting, man. If I had to go for my contenders, it's Liverpool. It's between Liverpool, City, and Arsenal. I mean, Aston Villa are doing great, man. They're playing some good football. Unai Emery's tactically really smart. They've got some good players as well. I just feel with the squad depth, it might kill them later. Because if they get an injury to a big player like Ollie Watkins or Douglas Luiz or someone in the back line, for example, if they pick up 1 or 2 key injuries, I think they don't have the squad depth to cope, which is why I think they might fall off. If not, but I seriously think they're top 4 contenders. I think they'll qualify for Champions League. That's what I think. But the contenders, man, Liverpool, City, Arsenal. Arsenal have dropped off recently. They're 5 points off the top. They've lost back-to-back games, right? So let's see how they come back from that. City, we all know they will always put a run together. They got Kevin De Bruyne to come back as well pretty soon. So you just know they will explode. But Liverpool, man, I think no one gave us a chance at the start of the season. Completely new midfield. We changed the whole midfield. Uh, we signed Endo to play defensive midfield. People were making a joke out of that at the start of the season. But who's laughing now, man? He's probably the best defensive midfielder in the league in the last month. He's been outstanding, Wataru Endo. And we're top of the league. But yes, I think we're very serious contenders. But the next 1 month for me will decide whether we're going to last the course.
The AFCON,
Because this is a crucial month. AFCON, Mo Salah is away, and he's going to miss about 3 or 4 Premier League games. Wataru Endo is away for Japan with the Asian Cup as well, and I think he's going to be a big miss as well. So I think this is a crucial month. If we get through this month, picking up enough wins, and in time for those two to come back, then I think we've got a really good shout for this title, man. And I fancy us then. But it all depends on this 1 month, I think.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean, not just Liverpool. I think a lot of clubs do have a lot of top players going off for the AFCONs and also for the Asian Cup. So I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. And I mean, I think other teams out there, especially who are expected to perform, who were expected to be part of that, top four, are currently nowhere to be seen. So
who are we talking about, Ram? Who are we talking about?
Yes, Man United. Definitely. I think I'm gonna take my medicine, because I did tell Hari in the beginning when we did a show. I said, let's talk about it midway of the season and see where we are. And United are nowhere close to where they should be. So I am definitely gonna just gonna take my medicine and say, you know what, this season I'm not expecting much. No Champions League football, probably no Europa League. I don't care. I'm totally not expecting much. But I do think that if you're talking about Liverpool's context of whether you guys are serious contenders, I think it wouldn't be much of a problem. I think yes, you will probably miss Salah, you probably miss Endo and other players. But I think that with Klopp's philosophy and the way he has managed the club over this past few years, I think it says a lot about him, and he knows how to handle the situation. He knows who to put in that can actually, make that happen. So I don't think you guys will have much of a problem. Probably you guys will have problem in scoring lots of goals. That's the only thing you guys will have to worry about. But I think in terms of winning games, winning ugly, or just winning by the odd goal, I think that's definitely possible. Since you have 20 more games left to go. 18 more games left to go.
No, yeah? I agree, right? So, Simba, you're absolutely right, man. Liverpool just need to keep winning. We have to keep winning. And I think in the absence of Salah, we have got to try and win ugly as well. We just got to try and get 1-0, 2-1 wins along the way. That's it. Just deal with it and then wait for the big man to come back, right? But, man, I think one thing that's going under the radar with Liverpool is, people talk about City and Kevin De Bruyne being out. Man United have a ton of injuries. They always talk about Spurs having lots of injuries, Newcastle having lots of injuries. No one talks about Liverpool's injuries. And I don't know why it's never brought up, but we've got tons of injuries. We've got key players out, right, throughout the season we've had. So Thiago has been out the whole season so far. He's our top midfielder, man. He's been out. Stefan Bajcetic, who was brilliant last season, he's been out the whole season. Joel Matip got injured. He's out for the whole season. Andy Robertson, our starting left back, one of the best left backs in the league, has been missing for the last 3 months with a dislocated shoulder. Costa Simicas, our backup left back, is now injured for the rest of the season pretty much. Ben Doak, our promising youngster, has got a knee problem. We had Diogo Jota out for a month. He's just come back now, obviously. So now we've got Salah and obviously Endo going away. McAllister was missing for about 3 weeks with an injury on his knee as well. So we have had injuries throughout the season to key players in the squad, and no one really talks about that. But we have been dealing with them the best. I think maybe that's why people don't talk about it. We have dealt with the injuries really well.
Yes, because I think you guys have been winning games, and the thing is, it doesn't show that you guys miss these players. I'm being very honest. The way you guys have played the game, it doesn't show that you miss these players. And for teams like United, Spurs, yes, we have a lot of injuries whatsoever. But the thing is, even when with the injuries or without the injuries, we're not really showing that we're playing good football. So Spurs are different. Spurs are playing way better right now with Ange Postecoglou. So I think Spurs will definitely go further than United. But as for United's context, to talk about injuries is the only thing that we can talk about, to give reason to why we're not performing. But then again, I wouldn't accept that reason.
And that's let's face it, right? That's excuses, right? That's really excuses,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it is, and it's come to a point where it's become a bit. I'm in a position where I don't want to bother talking about who's injured and who's playing, and all I'm thinking about is whoever that's been brought on to the first 11 to the pitch. You've got to perform. You've got to go out there and play your A game, and I've only seen a handful of them that have shown me that they have their futures, and they have a bright future ahead of them. But the rest of them, I'm just sick and tired of some of the players that we have. No fight, no teeth. So yeah, let's see what happens. But then again, that's what I say. That's why for Liverpool's context, in my opinion, you guys are doing great without your injured players. That means you guys are doing the right thing. So kudos to that. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main reason that we've dealt with it well. And I think, Simba, you got a great point, man. I forgot Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is now injured for at least another week or 2 weeks with a hamstring. Luckily, I think it's not a bad hamstring, but he might be missing for about 2 or 3 games now. Fortunately, it may be the cup games, but yeah, he's missing as well. So, I mean, we're missing a lot of players throughout the season from time to time, and a good thing about Klopp and the team is they have been handling it really well. Players have stepped up. I mean, Harvey Elliott has really stepped up when he's needed to this season. Curtis Jones, man, he's been brilliant. He's a top midfielder, one of the top in the league now. I'm surprised England. I'd be really surprised if England don't call him up for the upcoming Euros, because I think he's that good a player. He's something England is missing. He keeps the ball well. He drives with the ball. Means against Arsenal recently, he was probably the best midfielder on the pitch. Against West Ham, he was. In the last game against Newcastle, again, he ran the show as well. So he's really gone leaps and bounds this year as well. So, yeah, we're doing well, man. I mean, I've got a comment here from our dear friend Eugene. So I've got to showcase it. Guys, what about Spurs? Eugene, I held it back because I think Spurs are in the top 4 conversation. I don't think they're going for the title. But Ram, I mean, I may be wrong because they're only 1 point behind Arsenal. They're only 1 point behind Arsenal. So do we have to consider them as title contenders now as well? Under the great Ange Postecoglou, who's doing magic.
I think title contenders, no, but top 4 contenders, yes, possibly. A high possibility.
Okay.
Because they definitely are playing a very good brand of football. I love their football. I love their attacking football. I think they are a team that can score goals for fun. So yeah, but this is my take about Spurs. You see, you talk about Liverpool, you have AFCON coming up, you have the Asian Cup coming up, and so on and so forth. Spurs, with Son probably will be going for the Asian Cup. How are Spurs going to cope with their captain missing? During that time. So that is one question I have for Spurs. But if you ask me in terms of the football and how they've been playing, I'd say, yeah, you guys are definitely in with a good chance. Just keep consistently winning games. Yeah, definitely for sure.
I think I agree with that, man. I think the football that Ange Postecoglou has brought to the club is brilliant. They play some of the best football in the league.
I've never seen Spurs play that kind of football. I've never seen Spurs play that kind of football.
Very attractive. Their fullbacks come in. It's brilliant to watch. It's really attacking, very high line. They go for it. So it's good to watch.
It reminds me when Ginola was at the club, when Ginola was
Ginola, Darren Anderton on the right flank and all that, right?
Yeah.
There was Darren Anderton in that squad and all, right? Yeah. I mean, I think they play really good football, but just like you, I don't think they're title contenders. And I'll tell you guys why. I'll tell you why, Eugene. For me, it's because of squad depth. So Spurs are without Maddison. I think he might be back soon, but they've been without Maddison for a while, who's a key player for them. I think Van der Ven has been out for 2 months. He might be coming back. But now I heard Christian Romero. Yeah, and I heard Christian Romero now is out for 3 or 4 weeks with the injury as well. So he's a big defender for them. And then I think the bigger one is Son Heung-min, man. He's your talisman. He's one of the top scorers in the league. He is your talisman, man. I think Spurs are much more of a one-man team, if you ask me, because I really think Son is so big for them.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think Son being away and the fact that he will go far in the tournament because Korea will go far. So I think Son being away. And they also lose another 2 players to the AFCON as well, which is Bissouma and Sarr. So Pape Mate, Sa and Bissouma are their starting central midfielders. Both of them are going to be missing for the AFCON,
Yeah.
along
Forgot to
with
mention
Son.
that.
So
Yeah.
which is why, with that included and the injuries they have, I don't think they can cope, man. I really don't think they can cope, and that's the reason why I think we'll see Spurs slipping up and maybe, like I said, very strong top four contenders, but I don't see them in this title race, man. I just saw some news though, Ram. I just saw some news today that Spurs are going after Timo Werner, and I think there's a very good chance they will sign Timo
Yeah.
Werner as well.
Yeah, it was a
What are your
loan.
thoughts
It's a
on?
loan. It's a loan signing, I think,
Oh,
for
it's a
Timo
loan. What do you
Werner.
think of that signing, man? Do you think it'll be a good signing?
Well, what can I say? He didn't really shine the Premier League when he came on for Chelsea. He was always running offside. Remember, we used to call him offside Werner, offside Timo,
Mm,
or whatever we used to
mm.
call him. But I think things might have changed. I think with Ange Postecoglou's brand of football, uh, probably Werner's chances of doing well in Spurs are possibly higher because I believe Ange Postecoglou's brings out the best, in this kind of players. And as you have seen, how the team that he had when he took over, he brought the best out of so many players. So I don't see why he wouldn't bring the best out of Werner, and I don't see why Werner wouldn't shine, and possibly make this deal permanent if it does happen. But interestingly enough, talking about Timo Werner, right? This was supposed to be a loan deal for United. It started off with a United possibly going for Werner, on a loan deal, but now it's for Spurs. So I think if you ask me, I think if I was Werner, I'll probably go for Spurs because they are in a better position right now. So yeah,
Better
I think for
position,
me,
playing the better, more attractive football. He will get a lot of chances, and I think the
yeah,
manager suits him as well. I think he'll be a good signing, man. I think he'll do well at Spurs, Werner.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts on Spurs. Who else is in this race for you, man? We've spoken about Villa. Obviously, good
Mhm.
side. I think they're in the race for top four. Anyone else that can get into this top four, in your opinion, Ram? Is Man United in this race?
No,
Let's get to the
no.
crunch of it, man. Is Man
Well,
United in this race for top four?
no. I love my club. I love my club. But I know it's in terms of being realistic. Even if United do make it a top four, it's going to be a very mere, like like just a mere miracle, for them to actually be in the top four, because right now the points are just, they're not collecting enough points. They're winning one game, they're losing the next game, very inconsistent. And I think I wouldn't want this. I don't think this team deserves to be in the top four, if I'm actually saying it right. Top six possible, like I said, it's possible. But I think if I'm being very realistic based on their performance, I think they're going to be somewhere between the seventh. They're going to be seventh or eighth this season. If
All
I'm
right,
being absolutely,
let's get to the crunch of it, lah, Ram. Okay,
yeah.
I'll give you my opinion on it, but before that, let me ask you, man: is it time for Ten Hag to go? Obviously, now you have got
Sir Jim Radcliffe.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe at the
Yeah.
club as well. So there are going to be sweeping changes you feel coming up.
Mm.
Eugene says quality CB, DM, and striker would be a dark horse for the title. Eugene, I still, man, it's a Son Heung-min factor, man. He's so big for you guys, and he's away for a month and a bit. I think it's too big a loss. Him and Bissouma and Sam, man.
Think
And
of it this way,
obviously
Eugene.
Romero as well.
Eugene, Son Heung-min is like Cristiano Ronaldo for Spurs. He's
Mm.
that big for Spurs. His presence on the field.
I really don't think they can navigate past this, man, this month. That's my
Yeah,
thoughts. I think they struggled to beat Burnley yesterday as well,
yeah.
without Son in the first game in the FA Cup. So that tells you a lot. But yeah, talking about United, Ram, before I get to Sir Jim Ratcliffe is coming in, they're going to be sweeping changes. Everyone knows they're going to change the structure and all. But the big question, is it time for Ten Hag to go?
No, no.
Okay, why? Let's stop being
Okay.
delusional, man. Why?
No, I no, no. I'm not being delusional. I think
You're delusional.
no, I'm not being delusional. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that for a manager to come into the first season, we got past the hurdle. We won a trophy. We finished third last season, and then the second season he's on, and just because we're not performing up to that mark, oh, sack him, and that is going to be a repetitive problem every single time a new manager comes in, and I totally don't accept that. You need to give a manager at least 4 to 5 years. Klopp got 5 years to build his team, rebuild
No,
his team.
okay. Now I'm gonna dispute this, Ram. Okay, sorry to interrupt you, right? Klopp came in, and within his first year, in his half year, he took us to the Europa League final. That was his
Yeah.
first season, and he only joined in October or whatever it was. But I'm not even talking about that, right? Because I know Ten Hag has won a trophy. The main thing is, the moment Klopp came in, there was a clear identity to our football.
Yeah.
There was a clear style of play. There was patterns of play. Everyone knew this is Liverpool's identity. This is how they play. Uh, when when Pep came into City, same. I'm going to throw another name in there, man. When what's the guy at Brighton's name again? Slipped my mind.
Oh, Graham Potter.
No, the current one.
Oh, Antonio De Zerbi, Roberto De Zerbi, De Zerbi.
Roberto De Zerbi. He came into Brighton, clear style of play, patterns of play, a clear identity. Ange Postecoglou, smaller squad than United, sold their best striker, best player in the summer, Harry Kane. And within the first 3 or 4 games, everyone knew how he wants to play.
Yeah.
Clear pattern of play, clear identity. I don't see that with Man United, man. There's no clear pattern of play. There's no identity to the football. In my opinion, it's the same football that Solskjaer played. And I'll tell you why. The other day, they beat Aston Villa 3-2. They came back. Against Brighton, they came back. They won 2-1 late. They were doing the same thing under Solskjaer. They used to have games where they conceded first, and then they started playing really well, and then they would win a game. It was almost desperation. There's no style of play, which is why he's been at the club for 2 years. It's not a few months, it's 2 years. There's still no style of play, which is why I think it's time for him to go. But for a Liverpool fan, I want him to stay.
Okay, that's always the case, right? Because for me,
Ten Hag's at the wheel.
For me, he has dealt with a lot of high egos, and he has solved those issues single-handedly, whether he liked it or not.
What problem has he solved?
You know,
he got rid of Ronaldo. He created a problem on. Yeah, he created that problem with Sancho on his own. He brought that.
No, that's because the players are getting too ahead of themselves, Harry. That's the thing. That's the problem in Man United. The players are getting too ahead of themselves.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Structures. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
Erik Ten Hag has also spent the most money of all the managers in the league. Okay? He's the one who signed Martinez. He's the one who signed Anthony for 85 or 80 million pounds. Yeah. He's the one who signed Casemiro. Now, you're telling me that those were good signings?
Well, Martinez was definitely a good signing for sure. He's injured now for the longest time.
Salah put him on his ass, bro.
He was good. Okay, aside from that game, he has been superb when he was playing. Okay, Casemiro was definitely a good signing, but he's also been injured.
Casemiro is not a good signing. He was 30 years old, signed on huge contract for
when
5
he
years.
When he came on his first season, he played good football. He was good. There was a lot of difference when he came on.
No, but the problem is, obviously, it was a bad. No, the problem is, obviously, it was a bad transfer decision because he was signed as a 30-year-old for crazy money for 4 or 5 year contract. When you're 30 years old, you're bound to maybe have 1 or 2 more good seasons. So he's had 1 good season. Now he's fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, but he's injured. So, I'm pretty sure that, when he bounces back, you see, players like Casemiro is different. It's like, you have Thiago Silva for Chelsea, is 39 years old, still doing well. So I'm not worried about this guy's age. I'm very sure this guy will come back and perform. Players like Anthony, that was a terrible buy. I totally agree with what they said. 80 million is overpriced. But you see, players like Anthony who, could have been a cheaper buy or should have been bought at all. But you see, he's definitely not playing the way he should. Okay? And even if you want him to perform, he's not been performing. But yes, I will not want to put him on the first 11 for sure. I will put him on as a sub. And the thing is, we also have Rasmus Højlund, who has just scored his first goal against Aston Villa. He is the one for the future. Now, if you ask me, right, this is what I think about Ten Hag. I'm actually excited to see the partnership that he can actually have with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe has got sporting control over the club. And if you notice, United never had such people, to be able to dominate in terms of controlling matters of the football. Glazers have been ruining everything
But
since day
no,
one.
but bro,
You know,
stop being delusional. Ten Hag has to go for you guys. You have to sign a better manager, and then with Jim Radcliffe, you can make it work.
I ask you a question, Harry. If let's say, okay, today Klopp has brought you all this success. Okay,
Hmm.
let's pin the table a little bit. Now, of course, everyone knows how
I got
good
another
Klopp is.
signing for you, Tyrell Malacia.
Yeah, well, he has been on and off injured. Never
He's
really
a
saw a
crap
lot of
player, bro.
relevance. So
He won't even get in Burnley's team.
no, I wouldn't say he's crap, Harry. I wouldn't say he's crap. I
Oh,
wouldn't say he's crap. I would just think that I've not seen a lot of him to decide, how good he is or how crappy it is. I think to be fair, he's just been injured for most part. But when he's
honestly,
played,
honestly, as a Liverpool fan, I'm glad United fans want Ten Hag to stay because
yeah,
honestly,
it's
he's
fine.
crap.
It's fine. It's fine. But I can tell you a lot of United fans are just like me. We believe in him. We know that things are going to change for the better, especially now, and we are looking forward to it. So let's see what happens. I'm excited about it. Actually, I'm not. I don't want a new manager to come
Oh man.
and start all over again. It's just going to ruin everything. So I think what Ten Hag is going to do right now, he's going to clear off these players that are not really performing, put them on the bench
Actually, let me
whatsoever,
ask you a question. You keep
rebuild.
saying every
What?
year United fans keep using the same excuse. Our players need to be sold. Every year you all are selling a lot of players. You need to sell the whole squad or what?
Well, in this case scenario, I would definitely definitely want to rebuild for sure. I'll keep a handful of
I think you
players.
got to
I would
stop
definitely
blaming the
keep a
players
handful
at
of
some
players.
point. There's got to be someone strong enough to deal with it.
No, look, Harry. End of the day, United has a lot of other issues. Especially mentality of the players are when they are actually part of the club. It's different.
Okay, let's talk.
It's really
Let's talk
different.
about players. Like which players, in your opinion, need to go? Are the problem causes?
Oh, okay. That's easy. I'll definitely let go of. Uh, let's see.
Yeah, man, this
Who do I
pisses
let
me
go?
off. We should have smashed them, bro. I agree, Simba.
I'm happy that the no goals was scored anyway, so it's okay. So I think for sure Anthony would probably have to leave. I think Martial definitely has to leave. He's been absolute rubbish for so long.
So
I
the
think
Anthony for you is a problem causer, lah.
I didn't say problem cause. I say you asked me who should leave. Who do I think should
Now,
leave? I
who are
said
the
yeah.
problem causers in this team? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the ones that are not really coming together, I think Anthony should leave. I think Martial should definitely leave. It's not really helping that dressing room, if you ask me. I think the reality check is I don't know how good Rashford is anymore. So I don't know. He could be United Academy. He could be Mr. MBE Rashford. But as far as footballing is concerned, he's not really performed at all for the longest time. So I'm not very happy with him. If you ask me. Um, yeah, I think these are the three main players that I would really want to see them go. Before this was Maguire, but Maguire surprisingly turned the table and has been performing really well. Ever since a few months ago. So I would still give him a chance. But yeah, these three are the players that I would look at. In terms of goalkeeper, well, we don't have a choice. I would want Onana to be on the bench, and I would want the Turkish goalkeeper to actually, play. So good news because of the Afcon. So Bayern will actually be number one for the whole month. So it
Okay,
could
lah.
be a
The fella
good.
will let a few more goals in, lah. This fella.
Well, you can say that, or maybe he could be just a surprise that no one expected, and he could be the ones that he could be the one that could actually shine above Onana. You never know. It's all a
Yeah, actually,
possibility.
Simba, you got a point, man. I think there's a player in Rashford. I think he's never had a proper manager coaching him. If Klopp had someone like him, I think he would take off. I agree with some of that, man. Uh, I
But
actually
how is
think
that
of
so?
that.
He's been given the first 11, like regardless of how good he plays.
No,
He's so much
I'm
of.
talking about not playing him, but a manager that nurtures his talent, like a Pep, a Klopp. I think it would do wonders for someone like Rashford. I even think there's some players in United. Even previously, I used to think Fred would be a really good player under Klopp. I just think they never had the opportunity to work with a real quality manager to nurture them, to really bring the best out of them. And I think there are a few in United like that. They never had that opportunity. But none of my business, and I just hope they carry on crushing
So what
whatever.
Eugene said, MU is turning into Spurs, maybe. Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
Spursy United. I like that. Quick one, guys. Before we talk about, I wanted to talk about player of the season for you, Ram. So far, before we call it a day today, but let's talk about. I just want to talk since we have Simba here and we have any other Liverpool fans, for example, on the chat. I just want to leave this out there. In the absence of Mo Salah, now that he's at the AFCON, who would you like to see now starting front three? Who would like to see take his position on the right, and who should be our starting front three? So I'll give you guys my thoughts first, and then I want to know what you guys have to say as well. Leave your thoughts in the comments. But I'm looking at Luis Diaz on the left, Darwin Nunez. He's going to come good, man. The guy creates so many chances. There's so many chances. At some point, he's going to start banging them in. So Darwin Nunez. And on the right, to replace Salah, for me, will be Diogo Jota. And then Cody Gakpo could rotate with Nunez and Diaz from time to time. Diaz could shift to the right from time to time. But that's what I would like to see. I like to see Diaz, Darwin Nunez, and Diogo Jota, because Diogo Jota is two-footed. He can play with his right and his left foot. He can score with both feet as well. So that's what I would like to see. And like I said, if you're replacing Salah's goals, there's no one better than Jota, because Jota scores goals. He's the best finisher in our team. So that's my thoughts. I'd like to hear what you guys think as well. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Ram, very quickly before we end the show today, who has been your player of the season so far? I want one name.
For United?
Yeah, for the whole league.
Oh my God, the player. I'll have to go with Erling Haaland.
Oh, I think he's had a bit of a slow season so far.
Yeah, but still, I still think his presence on the field, and playing for Man City, he still has that grit. I still see him as, coming up strong towards the end of the season and probably bagging in a lot more goals. So I think he's still up there, in my opinion. What about you, Harry?
I think if I had to pick a player of the season thus far, for me, it's between. And I'm not just saying this as a Liverpool fan, but Liverpool are top of the league, right? So I think it's a fair comment. I would probably go for either Mo Salah or Van Dijk, because I think both have had really good. I think Van Dijk has had a fantastic season this year so far. He's been brilliant for us. And Mo Salah is joint top scorer, I think, in the league. And he's got the most assists as well in the league. So that's phenomenal, man. So I think you can't go wrong with Mo Salah, man. For me, he's been absolutely brilliant. And his consistency is unbelievable. So I think those are the few I would think of. Honorable mentions, I think Trent has been really good for us as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold. In other teams, Bernardo Silva, I think, stands out as he always does every year for Man City. From an Arsenal standpoint, maybe Declan Rice, you could say, has had a good season. William Saliba has had a pretty good season for them, and Declan Rice. But I think so far it's got to be Salah. Salah or Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk has really stepped up this year after the poor year he had last year. Eugene is saying Vicario. Vicario has been good as a goalkeeper. I would say yes, probably the best keeper in the league. One of the best, along with Alisson, because Alisson's been brilliant, by the way. But yeah, not player of the year so far for me. I think there are better picks out there. I think Ollie Watkins has had a good year for season so far for Aston Villa. Leon Bailey has been pretty decent. And then if you go further down the league, I'm forgetting one, man. I think Jared Bowen has been brilliant for West Ham. Amongst the top scorers in the league, doing really well. Bournemouth is flying right now in terms of form. Dominic Solanke. I thought Dominic Solanke, one of the surprises of the season. I think 12 goals, second top scorer in the league or something. Ex-Liverpool player, and we apparently have a buyback clause on him as well. Interesting, but he's been, and it tells you what a good manager can do, right? They brought in a manager from Spain, and they're starting to play really well now. They're getting dividends. I think their form is, I think they have the second best form in the league after Liverpool or something, like second or third best form. So they're doing really well. I think those are my picks, man, I would say. But yeah, from top pick, Salah or Van Dijk for me. And I think Simba agrees. For him, it's Salah. Good point, Simba. Haaland has shown how dependent he is on Kevin De Bruyne, because I think he hasn't been as effective in the first half of the year as he was last year. And the absence of De Bruyne, I think, plays a part. De Bruyne puts these balls in for him. So yeah, I think that is a really good point, Simba. Solanke for Bournemouth, I agree. I mentioned him, and I think he's been really good this year so far. And interesting, we have a buyback clause on him. He could be someone we look at. I think he's a really good player. So yeah, those are some of my shouts, guys. Leave your thoughts as well. Anyone else you'd like to mention? Anyone else we missed out who's
I
done
think,
well so far this year?
of course, I think Son definitely is one of them. One of the
Oh,
picks for
good,
sure.
great point. Son Heung-min as well. Yeah, great
Yeah, he's
shout, Son Heung-min. I think James
definitely a
Maddison would have been in there had he not got injured. He started the season really well. Spurs, Vicario, yeah, is a good shout. Bissouma was doing okay, but I think he's gone off form a little bit. Kulusevski, not bad season so far as well. And any other top teams you are missing out, top players from top teams, or even some of the poorer teams.
Saka for
Saka's
Arsenal
been
for
poor.
sure.
He's been poor, man. I think Declan Rice has been better for Arsenal. I think the
No, but
forwards for Arsenal have dropped off.
I think Saka has shown a lot more consistency over the past few years. Slightly dip in form right now, but I still think because he does score goals and he does lift the team
But
up.
he hasn't really scored goals this year. He's been very slow.
Not much, I know.
Him,
Yeah,
Jesus, and Martinelli's goals tally has been quite poor this year.
Yeah, but in terms, he's always created chances for Arsenal, though, in my opinion. So I feel he should be one of those picks. And still, there's only 18 more games left. So let's see what happens in these games. You know, he could
It's
make a
going to be
difference.
really interesting, man. Really exciting the next 1 or 2 months coming up. Guys, like I said, leave a like, hit this like button on the show. Do subscribe to the channel. Leave your thoughts and comments. We're going to be really consistent moving forward. The resolution from us, and we've got lots of updates from Liverpool United coming up on a regular basis as well. So we will do some post match after every Liverpool game. I will come on to speak a little bit about the game as well. So and leave your thoughts during the game as well, so you guys can tune in for that. Simba Milner for Brighton, he's been good point. Milner, old as gold. Milner, man, brought in and being a very consistent performer for Brighton. Interesting. Brighton have dropped off a little bit, right, form wise this year. Obviously they sold a couple of big players, but they're still doing okay. Mitoma, I think, has dropped off a little bit, I think, in form as well. Kaoru Mitoma, but he's a really, really good player. But yeah, man, it's been a good season so far. Really entertaining season so far. Really excited about what's to come as well. Your final thoughts, Ram?
Well, it's been such an entertaining season so far. I hope Aston Villa can pull off a Leicester. you know what I mean, Harry. I really hope it could be a different team lifting the title. But
what about if Liverpool win it and it's the 20th time, which means they equal Man United?
Yeah. I mean, there's always a high possibility, a very, very high possibility that's going to happen. So I don't want it to happen, but I know, to some extent you got to think back and say that, look, it might just happen. With City not performing really well lately, could this be a permanent slip? And for them to make it difficult to crunch all the points in. Will Arsenal, be improving in the next games? Will Liverpool take a dip, in the other games? It'll be so exciting. It'll be so
interesting, man. Liverpool really ended I think started the year really well against Newcastle. That game they had was phenomenal, man. Their attacking performance, one of the best attacking performances I've seen under Klopp. So many chances. Should have scored more goals. Missed a penalty as well. And
I think Liverpool are the only team that has won the double against Newcastle so far. I mean,
probably we had an XG of 7 point something in that game, which is a record. Expected goal 7.45, which is a record ever since the stat was created in the league. We created so many. A really good decider. Title decided 9th of March. Liverpool win that, they will be champs. Let's hope you're right, Simba. But let's first navigate this next 1 month without Salah and Wataru Endo. For me, Endo has been even more important than Salah. He's been fantastic, man. Wataru Endo equally as important. And I think we're going to really miss him because ever since he's come into the team, we have barely conceded many goals. And he's been a really key cog in the machine. So we have to navigate the next month and then we'll see where we end up. But Ram, I'm leaving it to you to sign off for the day.
All right, guys. So just before we go, just remember to like our channel, subscribe to our channel, give us your comments, give us your feedbacks. We want to do more shows for you, and of course, we would like to also continue to bring you more content, better content, special episodes. We are all looking forward to it for this new year. So everybody, happy new year to you guys. Happy 2024. Hurry, happy new year to you as well. So signing off from the plot Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
By the fan. Liverpool, top of the league. Liverpool, top of the league. Liverpool, top of the league. Liverpool,
Hey,
top of the league.
okay.
Liverpool,
Cut,
top of the
cut,
league.
cut, cut.
Liverpool,
Bye, bye,
top of
bye.
the league. Liverpool,